What's up, coaches? Talking to a couple coaches off the forum. They've given me this idea to put up a series of plays that I ran at one point in my coaching career and within my 18 years. And from 2011 to 2014, I coached in East Hartford and started with a team from scratch. That was the last time I went down in fifth grade and inherited a good group of kids, but we didn't have the three running backs truly that I needed to run the wing T. So we fused the wing T with the I, and there was a series of plays that we put in that I learned from a coach called Jack Cochran, who was in Connecticut, a very infamous coach. Anyways, I took what I learned from him and applied it to a series-based I formation plays, and we based the whole series off the toss play. And it all started with the toss. So we're going to get into the toss. I'm going to get into details about the toss. And this will be part one of probably a 6 or 7 part series where I'm going to go through these series of plays and really break them down and show a couple different variations of them and just have some fun with it. Hopefully a new coach that's looking for a new idea or something and needs a simple base offensive system to put in with some kids could get something out of this. So the first play we're going to talk about here is the pro right 28 toss. Obviously, it's a flank play where we're trying to get outside fast. We try to keep the rules as easy as possible up front because it's an on-type play, but, depending on the fronts, it could become a wash play, a reach play. And I'm just going to show you a couple different ways you could get to the same thing by switching up assignments for a couple of the pieces and have a steady play you could go to over and over again that you could run strong or weak. But just for time purposes, we'll always talk about things going to the right because it's obviously just opposite going to the left. Now, the first thing with the toss play is the running back is taught a specific step from the way I learned it is we're always going to step with the opposite foot of the way that we're going. So if we're running to the right, the tailback is always going to step with his left foot first, left arm up. I tried to explain that in the duo play, and I probably didn't explain it clearly, but that's a very intricate part of how he's going to get wide and get into the point where he needs to start bending to get up in the alley. So the running back, who's about in a U formation, I would have him about 5 yards deep. He's going to crossover step, left foot first, and get flat and try to get width. He wants to catch that football right outside of the tight end, like a man removed out here when he starts bending, getting his eyes up in this alley. That is a huge part of the toss play before we even get into the scheme because that puts him in a position to attack that alley. The quarterback's punch step is going to be to about 4 o'clock because he wants to get wide and get the ball outside of the tight end. The only way he can do that is punch and spin to 4 o'clock, tucking that ball to his waistline and getting it out there with an underneath two-handed toss. So his footwork is imperative because he's got to punch and spin to 4 o'clock and get this ball one man outside of the tight end. So the back can catch it with his eyes and shoulders square to get up in this alley. These are huge coaching points to this play. The quarterback's punching and spinning to 4 o'clock. The running back crossover step, getting width, getting his eyes up the field and shoulders square when he catches that ball. We always teach in our system the base rule, no matter what formation or style of football I'm playing, my receivers will always push crack. I don't believe corners are great blockers, so I never want to give up the push crack in favor of the stalk unless we need to switch it up in a different formation. And we could do that as an adjustment. But our base rule is always they're going to push crack. And they're going to always push crack and smoke the first thing they see above the hole. We count men and not gaps because I like giving people to be the aiming point for the running back. So on 28 toss, RZ will push crack the first thing on top of the hole. Usually that would be a strong safety. It could be the Falcon. It could be anybody who's attacking the alley. Either way, he's going to push crack the first thing on top of the hole. When we get inside to the Y, he's got a man on or outside of him. So we are going to reach block this guy and try to work our head to the right side here and hook him. Same thing with the tackle. We want to get our head placement outside. They will step. You know, in these situations, I always think a reach block turns into a drive block anyway. So they will step on a 45-degree angle through that man, trying to attack his outside number, keeping his head outside of him. Now, if he tries to fight across, they could just run with him, stay stuck on him. Our front side guard's always going to pull and wrap, keeping his eyes on his front side linebacker. I teach the backside guys to rip and run. You know, use an evasive technique, get underneath that man, climb to the next level. Let's hope to try to cut something off on the backside. So when the ball carrier is getting in the alley, he has the ability to bend it back if we're on our horses and cut something off, anything running across on the backside. So we teach an evasive technique on the backside where they're just going to just rip underneath that man and climb and try to get to a second level, third level defender. It's a high percentage play that can be repped efficiently every day. It has to be part of your QB's footwork segment so he could work punching and spinning and working, getting that ball deep and wide as fast as he can. It has to be like, in my opinion, like tossing an egg, but it has to have some velocity to it so they could attack that area right away. I put up a couple different other ways you can run it against different fronts. This one here, we got it against just a 4-4 stack, where in an even front, we're going to get a reach with the Y here. We're going to come down with the tackle because that's a long way for that center to go, in my opinion. We'll have the front side guard pull around, eyeing the inside backer once again. We will have this backside guard run an evasive technique and climb, try to cut something off on the backside here. Same thing here. Evasive technique, climb, try to cut something off back here. Quarterback will punch and spin to about 4 o'clock, trying to get that ball deep and wide. Running back will crossover step with his left foot, start bending around the tight end area, getting the shoulders and eye square, looking up in the alley. Our Z will push crack on the outside linebacker, strong safety if it's a 4-3. X is always going to try to cut off the free safety on the back end. That's against an even front. Pro right 28 toss. Here I just gave a different formation from our ace look, which is one back pro, Joe Gibbs style. Now this is true more like a gap counter because it's against the 6'2", and I just want to show how you could use formations and not change your core principle of the play and still find a way to run 28 toss. So here I got it up against a 6'2", and we're going to just get into the play because I think this is pretty cool. In this situation, we're going to have the Z stalk the corner just to change it up and get the same thing accomplished. He will stalk the corner, running him off like he's running to go, and then plant on him in his deep third. We're going to have the Y blocked down because they're covering us up front. So we're going to have a wash call here. Tackle will block down. Guard will still pull around for that front side backer. Center will rip and run, trying to cut something off on the backside. Backside guard will rip and run using an invasive technique, trying to cut off this backside backer. This tight end could rip and run, try to work up to the Falcon. We may get two hats there. Now, we're going to use this H in motion, pre-snap. He will come over in jet slide motion. We call this razor slide. He will come over flat, start to slide around the tackle, and he's going to buy this end right now. He will buy him on hike. He's going to buy that sucker head on. Punch him right in the mouth. Running back, left foot over, crossover step, get wide, start bending around the tight end, get up in the alley. We still got the same kind of thing going on here, except we use different pieces. We brought the H from over here to buy this end. We had the Z stalk, and now we wrap the guard around. Same concept. Nothing changed, just the look. Here, I just showed it out of a split back because I've always loved the split back formation. And you could either toss this or hand it off, but I think it's, once again, a highly efficient play. I did it against a 5-3, true 8-man box, 3-deep look, where the Y is going to buy the end right now, using that 45-degree step, where we're going to turn that into a drive block, but work our head outside. We're going to seal this man in violent fashion. Same technique here. We'll step with that play side foot, work our head outside, ride this dude out of the play. Front side guard will pull and wrap. Looking at the front side backer, center using evasive technique, trying to cut off something on the backside. Same thing here. X will run the cutoff and try to cut off the Falcon. What we're looking to try to do is cut off this defense back here. So when our running back could get up in the alley, he has options. He could press the alley or bend it back. I've found it very important to take care of everything on the backside, because a lot of times kids naturally see that alley developing and will bend it back. So we spend a lot of time and we practice, and this is part of our scheme, is teaching these guys on the backside how to get them some on the back end, because I believe if you could cut off the defense from the back end, it gives your running back a better chance to be successful and have more positive plays. So these are just little things I picked up over time. And if I was a young coach today, and I was looking for something, this is something that I think could help anybody. It's easy offense. It's easy to adjust it, to dress it up, to make it look like other things, but run the same core plays. Just like I'm showing you guys right here, it's one play with week-to-week play calls, because how we always done it is we set our schemes based on the fronts we know we're going to see the following week, because we scout. So week to week, our blocking rules are going to vary because we set our schemes to the fronts. So those are adjustments by game plan. So these are our game plans adjustments for the different fronts or different defenses we may see. So that's why I wanted to put it up, to show you how you never let a defense chase you out of a play. You just find a way to block it. No matter what formation it is, you find a way to block it, and you execute the core principles and assignments and do the little things you do on the play every time correctly and efficiently, and you'll have a number one play to go to that's a guaranteed yard gainer. Pro right, 28 toss. To the next time. Pro Series Base Install Part 1.